Let's turn to Saudi Arabia. You introduced a resolution that finds the Saudi crown prince, quote, complicit in the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, which the president has not done, asserted that he was complicit. Now the New York Times is reporting that the president's son-in-law and advisor, Jared Kushner, has reportedly been coaching the crown prince on how to withstand the blowback over the murder of Khashoggi. Do you think the White House is standing up for American values here?
Well, I don't know if that story is accurate or not. Here's what I can tell you. This story is as much about America as it is about Khashoggi. Obviously, what happened to that man is terrible. But it's also about who we are as a nation. The alliance with Saudi Arabia is a very important alliance. Our alliance is the Saudi alliance, not an alliance with the crown prince, with the Saudis. And so it is an alliance that has limits, like any alliance would. This is a crown prince that is a reckless individual. He's young, he's immature, but in addition to that, he is reckless. And if he's going to continue to test the boundaries of what he can get away with internationally and within our alliance until those boundaries are set. As far as knowing that he's engaged, look, here's the bottom line, and we don't need direct evidence that he ordered the code red on this thing. The bottom line is that there is no way that 17 people close to him got on a charter plane, flew to a third country, went into a consulate, killed and chopped up a man, and flew back, and he didn't know about it, much less order it. And we don't need any other, those are just stretches credibility to believe that in a country like that, this is not some decentralized country, that in a country like that, a man with his power, his influence, and his control did not know it and did not order it. It's just not believable. And especially knowing what we know about that government. So that's why we filed that resolution. I feel strongly that it is as much about who we are as a nation as it is about the gentleman who was killed here. And it's a terrible thing that happened to him and his family. And I'm not diminishing it, but I'm telling you that as a country, we cannot basically be a nation that says when our allies do something horrifying, we're going to look away. I'm not saying shatter the relationship with Saudi Arabia. It's an important alliance. But there has to be accountability for what happened here, and it has to be clear to the world that America is not a supporter of it and is not going to be a facilitator of these sorts of crimes.
Is President Trump looking away? Is he facilitating a crime?
Well, I don't know about facilitating because it's after the fact, but I do think that if we're not strong and the administration's not strong about this, he could do this again. He could do something worse in the future, or someone else could. That's the point we're trying to make here, is that U.S. foreign policy and our alliances are important, but they are not without limits. And it's in our national interest to care about this, because human rights violations, and if someone's chopping people up in a consulate, you know they're going to violate human rights at home and around the world. It leads to mass migration. It leads to instability. It's the fuel behind radicalism in many cases. Sometimes it gets these governments overthrown, and the people who take over hate us because we were the people defending those who were abusing them. So it's not in our national interest to be a defender of human rights violations.